And we are live. What is up, everybody? Aaron the dog, or puppy, sorry, Aaron the puppy here. This is the Apex of Apex cards. The next couple weeks, I don't know, this is the dog days of spring for the UFC. Price we pay for 11 straight cards. We get cards headlined by Marcin, Tybura, and Tuivasa. That was supposed to be probably a prelim at UFC 298. Now is a main event in the Apex because Tuivasa had a knee injury that is healed. Who knows? But we'll get to that as we go. With me for this Apex of Apex cards is my Apex of co-hosts. Just my 2 cents. How you doing?
I'm blushing right now after those kind words, but Apex is right, brother. You said it. This might be the best card I've ever seen before. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you as always for having me. And yeah, good evening, gentlemen. Make sure y'all smash the like button for Aaron. Peace to the chat. And yeah, I am just brimming with excitement for this incredible event.
Yeah. This card is boo indeed, my line mover. But it's still some decent fights to break down when we kind of dug into them, I'll be honest, and still places to make some money, including on the first fight of the night, possibly. Charlampoulos Grigoro versus Chad Anhelinger here, the monster versus the ferocious. Yeah, we'll see about that bantamweight fight here. Charlampoulos, very, very dangerous, especially early. We saw that on the Contender Series where he got that quick knockout of Cameron Smotherman, decent guy from Fury. Gets a lot of good finishes, has good leg kicks. Did lose to Christian Rodriguez by KO. Kind of a controversial stoppage in that one. What up, Justin? Much love to you as well. Good to have everybody here in the chat. Appreciate it. Chad Anhelinger, be a lot more exciting if he wasn't 37 years old. That's kind of one of the biggest aspects of him. He's 12-7 at this point. He's lost his last two to Jose Johnson and Archie Lang. So yeah, or not even Archie Lang. The other Haley Alatang.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Either way.
Well, yeah,
Chad, very tough. Good cardio still at his age. He'd be a side I'd go with in this fight, but early on he's in danger, I think, of getting put out.
Man, I am historically I've been a Chad Anhelinger donk, and I was really, really tempted to bet him this week. I'm gonna pick Anhelinger, but I'm gonna like scale back just a little bit, like my fandom or whatever, and just make it a pick. I think that he's kind of. I hate that he's 37 and he's got like T-Rex arms, but if he can get in the pocket, he is kind of a nasty pocket boxer, and he's got a really nice left hook. And I think he could potentially knock this dude out. So that plus my little Chad Anhelinger love affair is leading me to pick him as a dog. I think he's a live dog, but I don't quite have the sack to bet it. But yeah, give me Chad to get it done.
I just think he wears him down. I think early on, this is definitely Charlampoulos' fight to win, but I think as it goes, maybe even wait to bet Chad live. I'm definitely not in a rush to bet Chad Anhelinger at plus 140, but
yeah, I wish a little better too. Like that's another thing. It's just like it's not quite juicy enough. But yeah, man, he's a tough dude, and he can definitely take a licking and land his own stuff. So hopefully that happens.
Yeah, I agree. So both on the dog. I'm closer to betting him, but haven't bet him yet. But plus 140, I think I could use a little better number there, but it is what it is. Next fight of the night, Corey McKenna, Jacqueline Amarim. This fight is a grease spot for sure. I personally think that it's going to be a lot of grappling, a lot of scrambling, and maybe some subpar striking mixed in there. I'd say Corey McKenna has the advantage in the subpar striking and the cardio particularly, but I do think Jacqueline Amarim is significantly better when it comes to the grappling. I think that there's a good chance of the submission, but if not, I do think Amarim can keep this kind of in her comfort zone. If this is on the feet for a lot of it, I think she does get worn down and probably lose a decision. But I think that Jacqueline's able to just be the stronger, bigger fighter in this spot. And I think Corey's going to mix up with the grappling enough that Jacqueline takes it. Possible submission or a decision, maybe, but really ugly decision if it's going to be a decision. So I hope submission for Jacqueline. Either way, I like that she was the slight dog. So again, give me the dog and Jacqueline Amarim.
Well, boys and girls, this is in my opinion, lower level WMMA fight. And for anyone that's new to this channel or show, as long as I've been a co-host on this program, if there comes to a fight like this, and I can't make up my mind, I'm not above flipping a coin. And that has happened a couple times recently and is going to happen right fucking now because I don't care enough and I cannot decide and I just don't care to. And I don't want to jinx it or anything, but, and you can probably go back and easily debunk this, but recently, if recent memory serves me correctly, the coin has been right quite a fucking bit. So I'm just going to let it speak, dude. So here we go. Heads is Corey McKenna. Tails is Jacqueline Amarim. The coin will speak.
And just to let you know, Corey McKenna hasn't fought in over a year since beating Cheyenne formally. But yeah, go ahead.
The coin has been flipped. The coin will speak. And my pick will be Tails, Jacqueline Amarim. There you go. That's my pick.
All right. We agree once again on the dog. There you go. What up, Nora? Justin saying he thinks McKenna just tires and pressures her. I can get that read certainly as well. So.
I think Amarim hits a lot harder.
I agree.
Like quite a bit harder. And she's got like a 10-inch reach advantage or something crazy like that. So that could be fishpole submission, maybe a knockout. So I don't
I think she's significantly better in the jiu-jitsu as well. So plus 105. Give me back-to-back dogs to start out the night. And we move on to the next fight. 145. I think these two are just going to stand in the middle of the octagon, throw down. I think both guys are going to land north of probably 70 significant strikes or more. I think this is going to be a really good fight. Honestly, I think these two are down. Josh Culibao and Danny Silva here. Danny Silva coming off of that really, I think, honestly, one of the best fights on the Contender Series against Angel Pacheco. Angel Pacheco just made a fucking bricks in that fight. I really don't understand how he didn't go down, but really good fight. And Pacheco ended up outlanding Danny Silva in that fight. So, but Danny Silva, a couple things I didn't like. Obviously, the defense, not great. Again, facing someone like Culibao, he can take plenty of shots. Culibao doesn't have like that knockout power to me. So I just see this being a similar type of fight. I do worry about Culibao just kind of being a smarter, more veteran fighter here, taking it to the ground, mixing into wrestling and kind of cage clinching at times in this fight that Danny Silva maybe hasn't been as quite prepared for. Angel Pacheco against 7-1. Before that, a 4-1 fighter in Ortega. Lost to Kanan Kawahi, who's a Contender Series reject against that Brazilian guy, Brazilian Conor McGregor. Ended up knocking him out. So, like, again, like he just hasn't faced a huge level of competition, being guys like Elijah Leggett at 4-0, 2-3. This is a big step up. Culibao just taking on Lerone Murphy, not looking good there, but before that, looking pretty good against Meltzer Bagdarian, Sungwoo Choi, just facing a much better level, even Nuren Day. So, like, just facing a better level. I think the draw could be live as well, just with how I see this fight going. Like, to me, I just don't like Josh Culibao a whole lot. I do think that Danny Silva has a lot of potential coming into this fight at CSW as well. You know, this is more fading Culibao and buying the potential here, but plus 160, I don't think it's that wide of a fight, so I'm taking a shot on Danny Silva. 3 straight dogs to start out the night for the puppy.
I cannot quite get there on this one, and I really wanted to. I almost bet Danny Silva. I think it was yesterday morning. I was right there, and I just could not pull the fucking trigger. I think what you said about Culibao having the experience advantage, and just, man, it's tough because you look at Silva and you look at some of the tape, and when he looks good, he looks really good. Like, he's got good striking, throws nice combos, looks like, he hits hard. But Culibao, I think, has been in there with better strikers, and I think he's just overall just the better fighter. So I'm not confident in it. I've faded Culibao to my own detriment before, and I'm just gonna pass. But give me Josh Culibao. Not a ton of confidence in it, like 60-40 Josh, but yeah, I think he just kind of wins a decision. Silva's tough, and I think this should be a good fight, though, man, especially if they stand there and trade. Culibao doesn't go for takedowns at all, but he's got pretty good takedown defense. So if it's able to stay standing, I think it's going to be should be a nice 15-minute striking affair, but I'll say Culibao wins a decision.
And honestly, the under 2.5 is plus 160, which is pretty surprising to me, just because if I am on the Culibao or on the Silva side, I kind of like that for a couple of reasons. I do think Silva more than has enough power to put away Culibao in this spot. I think he's got legit striking and can definitely finish. And Culibao's got the experience here. So this is the first fight in the UFC for Silva. A lot of jitters, other things. So I think that there's a chance of the finish for Culibao higher than usual, maybe, with a debutant. Also,
yeah, like, he doesn't have a ton of power, but he does have pretty clean boxing, man. Like, he's got decent hands. He strings combos together pretty nice.
He also could expose the jiu-jitsu if
yeah.
Which Culibao's done before when he's just had the better jits. So
right.
I don't know. The under 2.5 at plus 160 being the same price as the money line on Silva.
I don't hate anybody for taking a shot on Silva, though, because I almost fucking did it myself.
Yeah, but back-to-back dogs for the puppy here. Danny Silva for me, and I also have Danny Silva by. You know what? I'm going to say Danny Silva knocks him out. Danny Silva by knockout at the end of round 2. Let's go. Will it be 4 straight dogs with Mitch Ramirez, which, spoiler alert, Mitch Ramirez is the dog in this next fight, taking on Thiago Moises. First off, every single Thiago Moises fight at lightweight, I always go to the height and reach. And here it does say Mitch Ramirez. It says 71 to 70.5. Thiago Moises, it says he's 5'9". I don't think he is, personally, but it says he's 5'9". He looks more like 5'7". 5'11 for Ramirez. Ramirez is a pure striker, 31 years old, out of Las Vegas, 8-1, 31 years old. Fighting out Syndicate MMA. So Natan Levy, it's training partners among others. Got knocked out by Carlos Paredes pretty cleanly on the Contender Series in August. Got a win over a 5-0 opponent with LFA. Knocked him out pretty quickly in Arian Tavares. Jeremiah Holloway, not a bad win either. He's faced a decent level of competition. He's put away all of them. Typically gets them away early on in the fight. He does have a third round and a decision, but he's going against I just think a much higher level jiu-jitsu guy here in Thiago Moises. Thiago Moises, coming off a loss to Saint Denis, looked okay in that fight at times, but exposed Mel Costa, who had never been submitted before, submitted him. Submitted Christoph Giagos as well. He's lost to, Islam Makhachev, Joel Alvarez, a very long, lean guy in Benoit Saint Denis, and now he's facing a long and kind of lean guy in Mitch Ramirez, but just hasn't proved anything. I think Thiago Moises by submission is the way to go in this fight. He's a younger, more experienced guy. He is at a little bit of a reach disadvantage that has caused him some issues before, but I just can't go with Mitch Ramirez here on short notice off. But bounced back after the Contender Series quickly. So third fight in about 6 months for him, which, could be good, but I got Thiago Moises here by submission square.
Yeah, I'll just follow suit. I don't hate anyone taking a poke on Ramirez by knockout, but I think that's what it's got to be, and that's actually going to be my fucking prediction. I think that Ramirez rocks him early, and Moises panic shoots for a takedown, gets the takedown, and chokes him in like 2 minutes flat. That's my prediction.
Yep, fair enough. Minus 395 for Thiago Moises here. Not a whole lot that can be done here. The under 1.5 is at plus 120, which I'm a little bit surprised at. But I don't love betting under 1.5s ever. So especially
thing though, dude, that's not a bad line.
Yeah, I just think Moises goes in there and gets it done quick, or if Ramirez wins, it's going to be with kind of a quick blitz. I feel like I just don't see him drawing the fight out. So
yeah, surprise plus money. That's
So something to think about. Ode Osborne, Jafel Filo here. For me, I really, really do feel that Ode Osborne kind of lacks a little bit of that IQ thing. He just finds ways, finds trapdoors, makes bad decisions. Obviously, the Tyson Nam debacle where he threw that flying knee thing and then got clean knocked out. Azu Alambayev, almost got him in a Japanese necktie, I think, at one point before getting him submitted as well. I just think that, Jafel Filo made a good showing of himself so far in his UFC run. Against Bakayev, obviously had him all but finished in that fight. May it lead into the third round. There's a lot that was going on there that I think kind of played into the finish also. So a little bit of a weird finish in that one, but looked good on the Contender Series as well. Much improved striking against Daniel Barez, a spot I loved him against. Pretty pure kickboxer, went straight to the jiu-jitsu. I think once again, Ode Osborne is more of a pure, boxer, but I think Jafel Filo knows that. Isn't going to mix it up much on the feet here. Takes it down, gets it to the ground, and I think he submits him early on once again. So I like Jafel Filo quite a bit. I do think on the feet he's not outmatched by any means, but I do think that's where Ode Osborne has his best shot. But Jafel Filo, probably one of my favorites on the card. I like him to get it done with the submission.
Yeah, dude, I think we were both on Filo against Barez, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
And I like him in the spot too. It's funny because I agree with what you said about Ode Osborne. And it's not that he's a stupid guy. Like, he's a smart dude. He's an educator. But, like, when he gets in that cage, he just does not have great decision making.
Also,
dude, and he was even looking good against Kopp. He was like had his speed parity with Manel Kopp and was like landing against him, and then boom, flying knee. It's just like, oh my fucking god! Like, I've backed him way too many times, and I just can't trust him here. Like you said, I think Filo's dangerous and probably gets him out of there at some point. Probably SO Mish.
Yep, and it stayed steady so far. The line has stayed at minus 180. I feel that it's pretty spot on, honestly, plus 150 on Ode, and it might just stay there because that's the correct line. Sometimes that's just what it is.
100 for Filo, who seems like the favorite. That's, for sure.
Yeah, and then the over plus 150, over 2.5 plus 150, a little bit surprising there. Under 2.5 minus 195, so you're expecting a finish in this one. I'm kind of surprised. I could see it going to the distance, honestly, even though we did predict the finish. But, interesting. 125 fight there. 135. So, I think I told you how many dogs I had before the card. and I
Yeah,
still have that number. I've switched some dogs around though, and it's just how it's worked out. This is one of the dogs that's become a dog on my card. Josiah Nunes is limited. She's limited. She can do one thing and one thing only. And getting down to 135 is not going to make her a better fighter. It's going to make her less of a fighter. She's probably going to weigh 140 for this fight, though. And I think we're getting a tremendous number on Chelsea Chandler here because of a meme reaction to what Norma Dumont did to her. And for one, Norma Dumont is a much better fighter than Josiah Nunes. For two, I get it. Josiah Nunes knocked out Bia Malecki and destroyed her. Like, her whole brain, like, is still fucked up, and Bia Malecki is never going to fight again. I know that's sad, but that's Bia Malecki. I mean, like, I get it. Chelsea Chandler's no prize pig either, but Chelsea Chandler has such a wrestling and grappling advantage. If this gets down, Josiah is not getting up. And she's not going to have a big gas tank if she does make 135 also. I get it. She has some power and she has some good striking, but I just think Chelsea Chandler is BMF in this spot pretty significantly. And as long as she doesn't get bopped early, I think Chelsea Chandler is going to figure out how to take her down. And in women's MMA, especially at this level, the same takedown or same kind of takedown entry works every time. So I got Chelsea Chandler here. If this fighter makes weight, which who knows, these two are 33 and 30, by the way. So two older gals here. And yeah, give me Chelsea Chandler.
I wasn't going to do this, man. I was going to make a pick, like a true pick, but I've got to go to the coin because I just don't give a fuck. And as bad as Nunes, whatever, is on the ground, Chelsea Chandler is trash on the feet. And I know she's not Norma, but she is the better striker and she does hit harder. And I'm not convinced that Chelsea's not going to fucking throw in the towel again, basically, for herself. So I'm just going to let the coin tell me, dude. I don't care.
I feel like this is as coin of a fight as there is.
So we're gonna give Nunes heads and then Chandler tails. The coin will speak, boys. It is tails. We're going with Chelsea Chandler.
Another dog.
Chelsea, you better not get fucking knocked out, dude. You better wrap it up, take it down, choke it out.
Let's look at Josiah's run in the UFC so far. Bia Malecki, which is, again, we know, and very impressive. Ramona Pasquala 2 years ago, and
Horrific.
Zara Farron over a year ago.
Horrific.
I mean, I get it. Chelsea Chandler beat Stinky Larenko, but at least she, beat someone. Norma, obviously, we saw that fight and what happened then. And then she's fought bags of groceries otherwise. So, yeah. Grease Fire plus 124 on Chandler. It seems that some sharp money is on Chandler here because that line was significantly higher at one point. All right.
It's one of the biggest striker versus grappler ones, and when the dog in women's MMA is usually not the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, especially when the dog can just win by laying on their opponent, basically. Yeah. Which I could definitely see here. This is the I think the fight that I've been waiting to hear a take on because obviously we talk quite a bit throughout the week. I am aware of where you lay in this fight. Mike Davis and Natan Levy. Frankly, this is a good LFA fight, No. It should be in the UFC. Mike Davis is won his last three since losing to Gilbert Burns, obviously. Took that on pretty short notice there. Beat up on Thomas Gifford for 14 minutes before he fell face first into the ground. Had a war with Mason Jones before Mason Jones got cut. And then put on his wrestling shoes against Slava Claus. Natan Levy, is Natan Levy. I mean, I don't know what there is to say about him. Wins a lot of decisions, good technician, not the most dangerous guy. Mike Davis, the thing with Mike Davis, and this has been the thing with Mike Davis for quite a while, and he doesn't even hide it. He doesn't really like fighting. I don't really care about that. That doesn't really matter. I think there's plenty of fighters who would say they don't like fighting. So I think that's kind of overblown. But I just think that Mike Davis, he fights occasionally, and I don't love that, but he's also still a tremendous athlete, keeps himself in really good shape, has good wrestling along with really, really good striking. I think that he's just the much meaner, more aggressive fighter in this spot. I think Natan Levy has pretty bad entries for his wrestling often. I mean, he's beating guys like just sliding by Mike Breeden. He's not really, like blowing the doors off guys like that. Rafa Garcia outgrinding him, beating him. I just think Mike Davis is, a significant level above Natan Levy. The line makes this unbettable for me because I'm on Mike Davis, but I do think that he wins, he wins a pretty clear decision at worst. Maybe is the first to finish Natan Levy, but I can't quite get there on that. Either way, I do admit this line is tempting for a dog or a pass. So I'm passing because I'm on Mike Davis, but 2 cents. The floor is yours. Take it away.
All right, so I'm not gonna go scorched earth here. I don't have like the spiciest fucking take in the world. I am on the dog, and I'll tell the people why. Anyone that's listening, man, make sure y'all smash the like button for Aaron and definitely subscribe to his channel if you haven't. But yeah, I'm on Levy, and it's not that I think he should be the favorite, and it's not that I think Levy is some world beater. I just think this is a pretty close fight. I don't actually think that Mike Davis is worlds above him. In certain respects, he is. Like, he's a much better boxer. I definitely think he hits harder. If anyone is going to get knocked out, it's probably Levy. That's like what I'm most worried about here. But I bet the dog. I actually fucking bet him twice because I just don't think like even plus 200. Like, okay, that's fine. But north of that, nah, dude. I'm gonna bite on that. I bid on it twice. I bet him at plus 225, and then I bet him again at plus 310. But it's not crazy. Like, it's not even a full unit on him. But this is where I think Levy has the advantage. I think he's the better submission grappler, and I think he is the more versatile striker. I think he's the better kicker, and I just think he's a smarter fighter than Mason Jones and Slava. Like, they're both just kind of like dumbass boxers or kickboxers, and I think Levy has more of a karate style, and he will do a little bit more of hitting and trying not to get hit. Now, I'm definitely still worried about him getting knocked out, but I think he's going to fight smarter and mix it up more. And he gets multiple takedowns in every fight. And Mike Davis, like, it's not like he has terrible takedown defense, but it's not like he's never been taken down before either. It's not like he's never been out grappled before. And I just think that a dude that fights infrequently and is basically just a high school wrestler turned boxer, albeit a very skilled one. I just think that Levy is the kind of, or style of fight rather, that could potentially frustrate him and make it close. And so that's why I'm taking the dog. I think this is close. I think this goes to decision, short of Levy getting sparked, which is a real possibility and something I will definitely be sweating over. But I could see Levy maybe getting a sub. I could see Levy winning a greasy fucking split decision, or maybe even winning like a 29-28 unanimous. But yeah, give me Levy here. It's kind of, dog or pass at this point with the line, but Mike Davis by knockout, I don't hate that either. Like, if you're on the Davis side, I think that's probably his most likely path to victory, or maybe Mike Davis decision isn't too bad either. But yeah, I just think it's gonna be close, and give me the dog here. I think I don't want to get like any talk any like kind of political anything, but I think there's a little bit of maybe anti-Israeli sentiment being baked into this line a little. I think there's some people out there that want Levy to lose, and he certainly could, but I don't know. I don't know if minus 400 for Mike Davis is the smartest play either.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that like with no asking good questions in the chat. Yeah, with Mike Davis minus 395 and then minus 215 over 2.5. So they're giving him a minus 400, but they're saying it go to decision. Obviously, I don't like that at all. So I'm staying far away from this one, but I do think Mike Davis gets it done. And I hope he gets it done emphatically because then he can get off to the prelims. And that's the end of the prelims. On to the main card here. Gerald Mearshart versus Brian Barberena. Well, Brian Barberena ain't very good at like grappling all the time. Kind of doesn't like to do it against really good fighters. Levels like Dos Anjos and Nelson both submitted him. He's just, I think, significantly behind in that respect. But he also kind of, went blow for blow with Muradov in that last fight. So shout out to him. He's not cutting any weight. He's still fighting at 185 for some reason. He's had some really good moments as well in fights. Even going back to like the Luque fight.
I'm gonna say, dude, he almost had Luque up out of there.
Yeah, and so I do think that there's a real possibility that he's able to knock out Mearshart because Mearshart's been knocked out. I don't know, a couple times, 4 times at this point in his career. So I mean, it's the way he's lost the least amount, but he's also still lost that way quite a bit. I mean, he last was knocked out by Pfeiffer. So he's losing, but he's lost 2 straight. He's lost some grappling bouts as well. He did survive and end up putting away Bruno Silva in the 3rd round, put away Stolfos in the 3rd round, put away Muradov in the 2nd round. So a lot of later finishes for Mearshart, a lot of them by submission. This is just not a fight I'm looking to get too involved with because I could see Brian Barberena having his way in the fight in terms of the striking and even putting away Mearshart. But I'm going to go Mearshart by submission. I think this is a grappling card for quite a few of the favorites, and I think Mearshart gets it done once again. Submission.
Dude, hard fucking pass. Give me Mearshart. I'm going to say clubs and subs a man. I'm going to say body kicks him. He's got to go body kick, and Bam Bam don't like it to the breadbasket. So I'm going to say body kicks him and then chokes him. But I would never bet this dude. Like, Mearshart just isn't trustworthy enough. I like GM3. Like, I think he's a pretty, like, chill barrage, and, like, I root for him to win fights. But I don't know, man. It just, give me GM3 by submission.
Fair enough. I was contemplating putting Mearshart in the Zhang, but
I don't hate it.
Honestly, he's minus 240. I just don't get it.
I mean, I think he's the natural middleweight. Like, he's fought the better competition there, I guess. I don't know. I get not wanting to parlay him. I understand.
I'm not. He's out. I switched in Jacqueline Amarim. So congratulations.
No, Carl, you're out. Makes sense.
All right. I'm not going to talk about this fight very long because this fight probably gets canceled. I don't really care who wins this fight. I'm not betting $1 on this fight. Give me Penny Kianzad because she's plus 200 and this is a low-level women's MMA fight. But, I mean, this is just a fight. I don't see it happening, honestly, because I think that Macy probably will miss weight like she usually does, or she'll pull out with some injury.
Am I imagining that Penny has had weight issues in the past too?
Yeah, I think they both have. And and she submitted Penny on the Contender Series or on the Ultimate Fighter. That's great. I don't really care Like, these two are bad. I guess Panty, because I have to choose one.
You must choose. Oh, hell, Aaron the puppy. I don't know. I'm a little biased towards Macy. And I don't want to flip the coin again. Give me Macy. She'll probably lose now that I didn't. But yeah, I think that just she's the bigger chick, little, more of a bully when it comes to the grab. Bully, dude. I think she's gonna get her grab, big sister if she gets her to the ground. And I don't care. Give me Macy by some shit.
Macy minus 240. Cool.
No way. That's no, fuck no, dude. Panty or pass. Big old pass for me, but
Yeah.
I will go with the Southerner.
I'm passing as well. That fight's not good.
Dude, you're smart.
All right. Next fight on the card. This is definitely one of the better, more intriguing fights on the card. Originally, I was quite heavily on the dog. Now I'm a little bit more unsure. But Christian Rodriguez taking on Isaac Dalgarian. Isaac Dalgarian, I get it. It's Francis Marshall, but Isaac Dalgarian really did make a very impressive debut. Really powerful, like blast doubles, really good, strong, stout wrestler. He's only like 5'7" or so for the weight as well. So he's really small, compact, well-built guy. Kind of looks like CJ Figueiredo, but fights a lot better than him, at least so far. The thing with Dalgarian is it's a lot of unknowns. He's fought a lot of cans, and they beat Francis Marshall, like opened him up and beat him emphatically, but all in the first round as well. But Christian Rodriguez, the reason Christian Rodriguez went down to bantamweight was his debut was against JSP, Mr. Pierce. And Pierce got takedowns ad nauseum, at will, over and over and over again. And just once the
massive featherweight too. Like, that's a ridiculous debut.
He is a massive featherweight, and obviously Isaac Dalgarian's a very different type of featherweight. But Dalgarian's really powerful, very strong. We don't know how he maintains that through 3 rounds at all. Christian, I don't like when a guy gets forced up to a weight class, but sometimes they still are able to perform. Christian, I think, is significantly better on the feet in terms of range of strikes, diversity, movement, things like that. Isaac Dalgarian, very good on the ground. This one's really tough, man. I'm going to go with Christian Rodriguez still, but my bet on him has been taken off as of now. So he's at plus 160 as a recording of this. I'm very, very tempted, but I'm going to take Christian Rodriguez. I'm going to take him to win a decision. I do think that once he starts to stuff the takedowns, I think we get a little bit of Isaac Dalgarian exposed in terms of gas tank and overall skills on the feet. So give me Christian Rodriguez by decision. Not confident enough to bet it as of now.
Yeah, I haven't.
I don't like how Christian gives up the takedowns against the bigger opponent.
I really don't. There's things that I really don't like from both fighters. And yeah, I really don't like Dalgarian's level of competition. And I do rate wins over Simon and Rojas a little bit higher than Marshall. It's not like they're crazy, like leaps and bounds ahead, but I rate those a little bit higher. So I give him a slight experience edge. I give him the striking edge. Yeah, Dalgarian is the better wrestler for sure. Like he's the better freestyle wrestler or whatever. But I also think that Rodriguez has shown to be pretty tough and keeps himself pretty safe in the grappling for the most part. And so I think in the scrambles, he's got a good chance to, like I said, either stay safe or win them outright. So I do like him to win a decision potentially. If he's the one, if Dalgarian does gas and he's going for takedowns, C-Rod could maybe get a choke or end up on top and get a GMP finish. But I'm going to go with C-Rod. I see this seems to be the fucking battleground fight, dude. Everyone seems to be so fucking confident on either one of these guys, and it's just like they have what, like, not even 5 UFC fights between them. So it's like, God damn, man. People just love to be the guy who's like, hey, I told you about Isaac Dogger first, or I told you about C-Rod. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm passing here. C-Rod does seem to be a popular underdog, but then Dulgarian seems to be a popular, like, pick the dudes are either hammering or parlaying the Christ out of. So
yeah, the lines staying pat. Everybody
exactly, dude. It's just like, dude, people are just like, fucking armies are forming at the fucking gates, and it's just like, who knows, man. I'll give me C-Rod though.
Yeah, and I backed off, and Lorena Carrera, frequent commenter, and by frequent commenter I mean makes a separate comment for each of their comments when they leave one on a video. C-Rod wasn't strong at a lower weight class, missing weight. Dulgarian's going to make him hire a professional nutritionist. Probably one of the more agreeable takes that you've ever had, Lorena. So congratulations.
Very reasonable and non-hostile, which is nice, refreshing.
That's rare for Lorena. Congratulations. But we're moving on to third from the top. Kennedy and Juku taking on the not 39, the 40, nearly 41-year-old OSP of St. Crew.
Careful now.
Yeah. I'm just saying, 41's awfully old to be fighting at 205, but whatever. It's coming off of a loss in 40 or 50 seconds to Felipe Lins. Kennedy and Juku coming off a loss in like a minute and 10 seconds to Dustin Jacoby last time out. Really bad look for both guys coming into this fight. I mean, over in St. Preux, he's done. He's just showing up, I feel like, for a paycheck at this point. But if Njuku falls into kind of the mirror world against OSP and just starts running into that body kick over and over again and not throwing a high amount of strikes and kind of just fighting at OSP's pace, we could see 15 minutes of horridness. And we could see an OSP split decision, 29-28 type of decision. It wouldn't shock me at all. We could also see Njuku stick him with a long straight left, nice 1-2 combo, and we could see OSP kind of going down with the first sign of adversity and being put out in the first round. And it's just hard for me to see the in-between. We could see just Njuku kind of put it on him for 3 rounds as well. I'll take Njuku. I don't want anything to do with his money line. And, yeah, this fight, just ridiculous.
The line is fucking stupid, but Kennedy better fucking knock him out, man.
He better.
And this is a classic Kennedy bounce back spot where it looks like it's like, dude, Kennedy, like, what are you doing here? You're like, just such an inconsistent fighter. But this seems like a get right spot, man. Like you said, just a big fucking cross right down the pipe, like flattens OSP. He's been there long enough that he's gonna get like probably 6 figures when it's all. He's probably gonna get like 100,000 when it's all said and done. So at least, yeah. If he gets fucking Von Prue by OSP, man, that is a bad look. I just don't see that happening.
Could you see him falling into the mirror world where he's just staring at him and just?
He's done it before. It would not be the first. OSP can do that to people too, man. He slows it down. He makes shit awkward and low volume, and because he has sneaky power, and he does this like weird shit where he like fades back and throws these long like hooks and shit. And he's a powerful leg kicker, man, and he can fucking head kick you like. But he's also, like you said, dude, he's my age, so come after him. He's a man. He's 40, but I think he's gonna get knocked out. I think Kennedy's got a 9:00 tee time, and I can see OSP's head on the tee box of the first hole. So yeah, I think he's getting teed up to get knocked out, but he better fucking do it, man. Dude, you cannot
-650.
You can't parlay that, but you cannot lose to a fucking 41-year-old OSP. Come on, dude.
No. He is almost 32 at this point, but yeah, it's 83-inch reach versus 80-inch reach. So there's that. So I expect them to stand pretty far apart from each other and stare at each other. That's That's what I honestly expect. And good news, some good news here for us. Jafel Fuel has moved to -160 as we're recording this. So some sharp money coming in on Mr. Ode Osborne, and the only Patrick addicted to combat. Kenny decision might be a move, and much smarter than all of us. And shout out to you, Patrick. If you ever want to join us on one of these, you're always welcome, and you know that. So glad that you're out there living your life. And don't worry, we're carrying on the good fight here. But yeah, we're both on Kennedy here, and Kennedy by decision. You're betting to sweat your ass off, like just because I just don't think it's going to be enjoyable. But you might be right. He might just stare at him and just land a little more.
It might depend on the ref. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these
survive kind of early, and then
if it's because OSP gets rocked, he has horrific balance on his feet. So even when he's like, he just always looks like he's wobbly and rocked, and like he gets stopped against the fence a lot. So you kind of got to you might want to watch and see who the ref is before you bet the Kennedy finish or not. Because dude, it might be someone that just wants Vince to die or something. Who knows? But what's up, Patrick? Great to see you, my dude.
Yeah, fair enough. And then you can talk about the co-main event if you want, because I don't talk about Brian Battle fights.
Nah.
All right. Yeah. Fuck this fight. We will move on to
Lusa for Tapology.
Lusa, just because I don't pick Brian Battle, but I'm not bad. I also don't bet for or against Brian Battle.
Ass.
So, and give me Jaren Vallo as a ref. Yeah, we'll fly him in for this one. On to the main event of the evening. We have Tuivasa versus because fuck Brian Battle. He's a piece of shit. But Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura. This is a very, very good main event here. No, I'm just kidding. This is a heavyweight main event. It might as well be 3 rounds. But it is scheduled for 5 rounds in this one. Marcin Tybura has a new haircut coming into this one. So there's that. Tuivasa has a new knee sleeve because he is missing a meniscus coming into this one. That's why it wasn't at UFC 298. That ain't great. I could see Ty coming in, just kind of hopping forward and just barreling forward and knocking out Marcin Tybura very quickly. Marcin Tybura has been put away before, just by much better guys like Tom Aspinall. I get it in his last fight. But I just think as this fight, each minute ticks by, especially after the first 7 minutes or so, I would say that Marcin Tybura's chances go up and up. And I just think that Marcin Tybura probably kind of takes away the will of Tuivasa and eventually maybe gets the back and submits him, makes him quit later in the fight. I could see a decision also, which would be rough. But I like Marcin Tybura. I think he survives the potential storm early on, and I think he kind of takes over as this fight goes. I don't like that Tuivasa is injured. I don't like that. I just don't like kind of how he matches up with Tybura here. So, Ty has kind of the first 7 minutes or so, and after that, I think this is Tybura more and more. I think the 5 rounds favors him. I think the Apex favors him. I think Ty, would benefit from a crowd as well. I just got Tybura in this one. I've talked about it quite a bit earlier today. It really helped center kind of my view on it as well. So I definitely see Ty's route to this one as well, but I like Tybura as the dog.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Marcin as well. I really don't like this knee shit from Ty. And if Tybura was smart, he is nice, which can be, sometimes a tall order for Marcin. He doesn't always fight the smartest. but I think
he sometimes just quits. He doesn't. He fights smart usually though, but sometimes he just doesn't have that dog in him.
Yeah. Sometimes he strikes with dudes when he shouldn't, but sometimes it's because he can't get the takedown. But yeah, I to your point, yeah, he's chinny and he does have some quit in him. But I really don't like this knee thing. But so if Marcin is smart, he will just because like I have a torn meniscus in one of my knees, and it affects you it's the stabilization for like the inner or the out. I don't know if it's like his lateral or medial meniscus that's torn, but if Marcin was smart, he would figure out which knee it is and then figure out which meniscus it is and then kick the shit out of whichever one it is. Like leg kick the fuck out of him if he's smart. Yeah.
I think this is a great take from Justin. Ty acts like a fat Holland.
Yeah, he's
accurate.
He does not have incredibly high fight IQ himself. He's a bruiser, he's a brawler, and he's a good fighter. Like
how many times has he fought 5 rounds?
I would say he's a good striker. You know, he's a good striker, and he could knock Marcin out. Like he could totally starch him. Tybura is chinny, and to your point, he's kind of a quitter too when the going gets tough. But I don't know, man. This seems like the kind of fight where Tybura could just kind of squeak out a really lame decision.
Tybura had a good fight with Volkov. I agree a while ago.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Like, and I've seen Ty look, and you probably seen it too. He just looks really bad on the ground sometimes, and like Tybura is much better grappler. Like I could see him subbing Ty too. So, give me Tybura. I wanted to pick Tuivasa, but I just don't like the knee shit, and I hate to like pick against the guy just on like potential injury. But it wasn't that long ago, and like that's a fucking
it's definitely a real injury. It's definitely
that can be a nagging injury too, man. Like I'm no fucking athlete on the level that Tuivasa is, but that fucking injury will like nag you, man, because it's one where it's not like inpatient. It's like it's a quick surgery, like it's arthroscopic. It's just nothing.
Right.
It's a pretty quick recovery, but it's one that because you do recover quickly, you're like, oh, this is good, man. I can do whatever. And it's just like never quite gets to be like 100% again. But who knows, man? We'll see. Give me Tybura though.
Yeah, no, I like Tybura quite a bit. I believe that takes me to 6 dogs on the night officially, maybe even 7. We're on to the Zhongli parlay. And the Zhongli improved as we were going in the fight card because Jafel Filo is now at a minus 160 clip. So some decent money just came in on Odie Osborne for some reason.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, Jafel is part of the Zhongli. So starting out the Zhongli is Chad Anhelinger and Jacqueline Amarim. So 2 dogs, followed by Jafel Filo at the minus 160. I did include Thiago Moises as the one big favorite that I feel like is my favorite of the big favorites. So he is included. And then Marcin Tybura rounding out the card at even money to bring it to, and now updated plus 1875 Zhongli parlay for this week.
Not bad.
So, yeah, not bad at all. Pretty tidy breakdown of these 12, I guess 13 fights if you want to include the Lusa fight. Final thoughts on the card. What else you got coming up in the week? 2 cents.
Well, dude, first of all, as always, thank you very much for having me here. It is a great honor to be co-hosting this with you. Shout out to everyone that came through in the chat, and make sure y'all smash the like button and definitely subscribe if you are new to Aaron's channel. For me, I got there will be a new episode of Locker Room Talk, Pub Sports Radio's podcast coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna do that with the boys tomorrow morning or whatever afternoon, and then I have decided that I'm gonna be doing like Saturday pre-games in lieu of my weigh-in show. So I'll just go ahead and extend this invitation to you and anyone else that's in the Dome or the podcast group chat. Yeah, man, I'm just gonna be doing pre-games on Saturday on my channel, and I will drop the link for anyone that wants to come through, shoot the shit, and just get stupid before the fights. But man, thank you again, and best of luck, everyone. Fucking let's cash the Zhongli again, and
Yes,
let's fucking go, man.
Yeah, it's been a good little run the last couple of weeks, shooting at a nice little 85% clips.
Dude, like,
Keep it
hey,
going.
man, the past couple weeks, crazy good hits. Like, Loic, fucking, you parlayed fucking Eamon Zahabi and
Yes,
nailed
sir.
that. Fucking Rosenstrike, Dusty, fucking Lens,
Yep.
MVP last week. Just
Mhm.
boom, 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 dude. So, yeah,
Yep.
good shit
Let's keep
happening
it
on
going.
your
We got plenty of shots at the dogs this week once again. So hopefully we can have another good week. But great breakdown as always from Just My 2 Cents. We'll be back next week with a card that I think might be even worse than this week's card. So stay tuned for that. But for Just My 2 Cents, for the Dome, Aaron the Puppy, for the chat, Justin, Noah, the special appearance by Lorena Carrera, Salvador Perez. Sorry you were new to the Brian Battle game, but that's how we do it around here with that particular subject. Everybody else out there, thank you very much. Peace out until next week. Peace again.